So you want to make millions of dollars with your business starting from zero. You have nothing. You're starting from scratch, but you need to know where to begin. You need tools to use. I'm going to give you every possible tool that I can in this video. This is just the first in a long series that we're going to do to help you start your small business, at least with ideas, right? We'll get more complicated in the end. Of course, let's begin with this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Also, there's no guarantees in anything. Although we're going to lay out a lot of tools here in this video for you to use and a lot of information. Really, it's on you and how bad you want it in the end, how much you can push, how much you can exude for you to be the best possible you to bring in that money. So a lot of it's going to rely on you. All right. So now let's begin. One of the first things you're going to have to decide is how you want to make money. Are you selling yourself, your experiences, your thoughts, right? That's one way. Are you selling an item? That's another. Are you promoting a book, selling a book of yours or someone else's? That's another path. Are you a promoter / influencer? You're going to promote certain things, certain ideas, items, etc. for others. That's another. Or we have another pathway, work for hire. You can do writing, you can do editing. There's a lot of different things you can do. And then you scale up from there and you begin hiring other people later on once you have enough capital, if that's something that you want to do. So there's a lot of different pathways that one can take when going into business for them. If you're selling yourself, your ideas, your experiences, there are a few platforms that are easy to get started on. Of course, you already know YouTube. YouTube is very easy to begin on. Of course, it'll take some time before you can monetize, but they do have monetization at 500 subscribers now. 500 subscribers and a few watch hours. I can't remember how many. You can look that up. And you could begin selling items and things of that nature. Okay, but YouTube is great to have as a presence for all businesses who have something to sell or have something to push. Secondly, TikTok, wildly viral website. Easy to set up. Yes, a lot of people still are not on TikTok, so they may not be familiar with it. They'll come in later. There's a huge audience there. It's easy to set up. Have a presence on TikTok if you can. That's one option. So now, other areas where you can build a presence for yourself if you're a personality, if you're going to be selling your experiences, your thoughts, your vlogs, things of that nature. Twitter, of course, you have Twitter /X, and one that people don't think about a lot, WordPress for blogging. WordPress has been around for a long time. I used it long ago. It still has a strong presence there, strong communities, very supportive and very, very good for business. And it allows you to type out different micro blogs and really lay out your ideas and things that you have to say or to explain to people the products that you will have to sell either now or in the future. So WordPress is always there. I'm just giving a few examples. We're starting off lightly, and I wanted to give just a few examples of easy ways to get started building a presence for yourself if you're going to be selling yourself. All right, so now there's a variety of ways that one can make money from YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, WordPress, and the most popular one everyone knows are advertisements. All right. Advertisements can make you a good amount of money if the websites are allowing people to post advertisements. And of course, if there's not too much ad blocking going on, that will have an effect. But advertising is just one pathway to monetization. You also have affiliate marketing. Now, affiliate marketing is very popular. I've never used it, but a lot of people, when you see those links in their description box, whether they're on YouTube or TikTok, and you click on that, if someone clicks on that, sometimes they pay you a little percentage for clicking on that, just clicking on the link. Sometimes, and also, if they purchase something, you get paid a percentage from whatever they purchase. So affiliate marketing can be very good if you have an audience that's willing to purchase something. And if you have a large enough audience, as a matter of fact, if you have a small audience, you may still be able to make some capital from affiliate marketing if you have products that the people actually want to partake in. So affiliate marketing is another means of making capital for yourself on the internet or selling yourself. Now, one that's not greatly discussed, but once you're getting numbers, once you're having enough of an impact on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, it is inevitable that you will get promoting opportunities. Now, you can go to companies and ask them if you could promote for them, and they may negotiate with you and they may not. The ones who are willing to negotiate with you, obviously, are going to pay you a little bit to push a certain product. It is in your best interest to let your audience know if you're pushing a product, if it's a paid promotion or not. I think that's just legal. I think it's illegal in a lot of places to promote something and not let the audience know that it is a promoted product. But that is there. Now, in your business email, if you have a business email out there and you're starting to get numbers, the companies will come to you. They will. You just have to have enough numbers, have your business email present, especially on YouTube. And a lot of companies will be reaching out to you and you're able to negotiate numbers. Now, be careful, because in that same boat, there are a lot of fishy promoting. There's a lot of fishy promoting businesses going on where companies may not be legit. The product may not be legit. So you do want to be careful. So I say have an air of caution when you look at these potential offers, okay, that will come to you when you get numbers. So those are 3 different ways that you can make money selling yourself, just having a YouTube presence, a TikTok presence, Twitter presence, WordPress presence. You have advertisement, affiliate marketing, and promoting. So now let's go over if you're selling a book, which a book is the easiest way I think that anyone could take a shot at making a good amount of capital very easily. But of course, the book industry has its struggles. So you're going to have a good quality product, and you're going to have to do a lot of promotion to get the message out there that your book is available. You may even need to use paid advertisements, which we'll get to a little bit later in a later chapter if you want to click over there. But let's go over this very briefly. I have it written here. If you're selling a book, you have a few big time self-publishing websites, which I have a lot of experience with over the last, I'd say, 17 years. I have a lot of experience with this in this field. So you have Amazon KDP. They are one of the best. I love Amazon KDP. Very, very easy to use. It used to be a little bit more difficult to use in the past. They've streamlined it very, very much, made it even simpler for people to publish their books online for people to download in the Amazon bookstore or on their Amazon tablets or any tablet, really. But I think mostly Amazon specializes in Amazon tablets. But it's very, very easy. They have different pricing plans, and you can do all of this for free. All of this can be done for free. Now, we're going to get into, in a later chapter, different types of books you can write. They don't all have to be super long. They don't. Most people think of books, they think of novels, but I'll give you some other versions of books that you can write that are much shorter. And you can write a book about anything. It can be fictional. It can be about your life. It can be about your opinion. Remember that. And there is always an audience for everyone. But a lot of people are afraid to take that shot, so they never take the opportunity. You can take that shot. I say take the shot. Why not? You have nothing to lose. It does not cost you any money. So what they do, I believe, on a lot of these websites is when you post your book for selling, they take a little bit of, maybe they take $1 from each book sale or something, some small percentage. There's something that they take, but they don't charge you up front. There's nothing coming out of your pocket. So that's very nice. And it's very simple. So there you have it. Amazon KDP. Then you also have the Barnes & Noble website, which used to be the Nook website when they had the Nook tablet out, but they've changed it since then. I believe now it's press.barnesandnoble.com. They are also very, very good. And I've had great experiences with them over the years. This is not a promotion of them or anything like that. I don't know anyone at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. I'm just giving you my experiences. I've sold quite a few books over the last 17 years at various times throughout my life. You can even sell your books under pseudonyms, so you don't even have to use your real name. So keep that in mind. You do not have to use your real name. You can write anything that you want, put it out under a pseudonym, and then now maybe you have a chance at generating some income. So that is a possibility, not a guaranteed possibility. So once again, Barnes & Noble, very easy to use. Very easy to use, very reliable. Those checks come through on time, no problems whatsoever. I very much enjoy using their service over the years. So once again, press.barnesandnoble.com if you want to release, self-publish your book. Now, before we get into the last one, Amazon, I'm not sure if Barnes & Noble offers this, but Amazon does offer you the ability to print on demand. So if people want physical copies, and I'm one of those people, I like to have a physical copy of books, you can place it for print on demand. Now, remember, if you're using extra services, I think it's logical that company may charge you just a little bit more, not charge you, but take a little bit more out of the money that you'll possibly make off that sale. So maybe they, instead of $1, I'm just giving an example, instead of $1, maybe they take $2. So it may work like that. You'll have to look into the particulars of that, but it will allow your audience, if they should like, to acquire a physical copy. It can be softback or it can be hardcover. Last time that I checked, you'll have to check for updates. It's been quite some time since I've used these services. Okay. So last but certainly not least is Kobo.com, Kobo.com. And they used to go by Kobo Writing Life, which they still have on their website, Kobo Writing Life. Very, very good website that gives you access to certain, at least in the past it did, it gives you access to certain regions that other book companies didn't cover at the time. And I think now most of the book companies are completely global online. But Kobo Writing Life is very good as well. Not as pretty as Amazon, Amazon and Barnes & Noble, at least not back then. I think now they streamlined everything. But once again, it was very easy to use. I enjoyed using their service. No problems whatsoever. So now you have three alternatives to possibly release a book that you might be able to generate some income from. So times have dramatically changed, where in the past, people wanted a professional who spoke very, very clear like this and had a business suit on, a blazer on. But times have dramatically changed, where now people want to buy from people and be sold to by people who are just like them. They want the casual person. They want the everyday Joe, the everyday Jane. That is what they want. If you look on social media, do a little bit of research, you'll see all of these so-called influencers. They're just promoters. Influencer is just a new word for promoter, where in the past you just said this was a promoter of things. These influencers are regular, everyday people in a t-shirt, in jeans, or whatever they're wearing that day, speaking normally to the people, but clearly, and they are passionate, and they are able to hook the audience because it's someone like them. So, and they're using the product. That's another thing. Keep that in mind. That's going to be strategic in the future. When you want to sell something, they're using the product on camera. So the people know they're not faking. They're putting on the sweater. They're putting on the girdle, the jeans. They're flying the drone, showing that they're having a good time. That is a great way to hook an audience. That is what the people must embody now if you want to have an advantage, or if you want to compete at the top and make a lot of capital selling a product. You're going to need to use that product yourself, or have used that product yourself, and be able to speak from experiences. The people are very smart these days in that way when it comes to products. They know when someone's faking, and they know when someone is being real. They know when someone is passionate, and they know when someone's just trying to make a quick buck. Now, don't get me wrong. Everyone wants to make capital, but you're going to have to actually have passion behind what you're pushing, which leads us to another thought. Whatever you're going to be selling, whether it's yourself, you have to believe in yourself. Whether it's a product, you have to believe in that product. It cannot be fake. It has to be genuine. If you can bring that genuineness to the screen, you'll be able to hook an audience. It's going to take some time. Not for everyone, it doesn't happen overnight. I know there are meteoric cases where people rise overnight, but that's not everyone. For most people, they're going to have to grind it out. They're going to have to work really hard. But you must believe in the product and have experience with the product. So here are importantly, I titled this as important, rarely considered thoughts on selling anything. It says, be yourself, be natural, don't be robotic. Today's buyers want to buy from someone like themselves, not someone who comes off as fake. Be confident. Look confident at all times. It's going to be difficult, but you have to do it. Be confident at all times. Speak confidently. Whatever your verbiage is, it doesn't have to be like mine or someone else's. It doesn't have to be like perfect. It doesn't have to be super proper? No. However you speak, just make sure it's clear and confident. That's it. And there is an audience out there that speaks just like you or likes how you speak, and you will find them. You will hook them. You just have to have the willpower to continue to move forward through the tough times. Business has many tough times, and you will get to them sooner or later. Speak confidently, believe in yourself, believe in your product, and let that shine through. Use your product so you know by experience how it is. And it's going to come through much more. So now we're going to talk a little bit about advertising, because advertising is going to be major. Now, I think the absolute best advertising vehicle that I've ever used are Google ads. Google ads are very, very effective at bringing eyes to either you or your product. So Google ads is at the top of my list. Then we have a few more recommendations you can check out if you so see fit to do so. Microsoft advertising, which in the past, I believe it was called Bing advertising. And I use that as well. It was pretty good. Not as good as Google ads, in my humble opinion, at bringing eyes, but it did its job. It was very good. So Microsoft advertising. Then you have Facebook ads. Facebook has a huge community over there. So Facebook ads are there. Amazon advertising. Amazon has a huge audience as well. You have Twitter ads. I have used Twitter ads before. I think Twitter ads, at least in the past, were a little bit less effective than Google ads and Microsoft ads. They brought me a lot more eyes to the product. I haven't used those in about maybe 8 years, probably about 8 years. So there's been some time since I've used them. They probably all have improved greatly. So let me just put that out there. I don't use advertising for anything that I do currently. I just been letting things grow organically. It's been a nice little experiment, nice little contrast. So now, Amazon advertising, Twitter ads, and then, of course, LinkedIn ads, right? So you have all of these different options now that you can look into if you didn't know about them before, and then you can judge what might be best for you based on pricing. And I think most of these will allow you to choose your own budget as far as how much money you want to spend on advertisements. So it's very good in that way. You can spend a lot of money and get a lot of views, a lot of eyes on your product, or you can spend a little bit. Like $20, $40, $50. At least that's how it used to be. And you can get a little bit of views, and you just build over time. So advertising can be very. Let's go over a little bit of my thoughts on being a promoter or influencer, if that's the pathway you want to take. It has been a very successful path for many, many different people. It can be quite a difficult path. It takes a little bit of time. So now, being a promoter or influencer, obviously, you're going to have to build an audience. The best way to do that is not to copy off of other people. I know that's what a lot of different gurus are saying. Copy the other person, copy and paste their style of video. But that's not going to build a loyal fan base that wants to see you when you has to finally come out, because you cannot copy people forever. The best way, I believe, to build an audience is to be yourself. Some people are going to like that, and that's your audience. You're going to hook them in. They're going to stick with you. That's what you want, to build a loyal audience who may purchase your products or who may watch your videos if they're going to even allow ads on your videos. So that's what you want. You don't want to bring in the people that at some point are going to dislike you. They're going to leave anyway. Then that never mattered in the first place. We need to build a loyal audience. That means you have to be genuine in who you are on screen, clear and confident, and be willing to, if you have to, if it takes some time, to continue to work to get that audience exuding who you are on screen, because you know you're awesome, and you have to think like that. You know you're awesome, and let that come across screen, and you will find your audience. So I have build an audience first, create valuable content. What do people need? What do they want? You have to ask yourself that question no matter what you're doing, whether you're an influencer or you're selling a jar of pickles. What type of content do the people like right now? What do I want to deliver? And where do they meet in the middle? What type of pickles do these people like? Salty pickles, sweet pickles? You have to do your research. You also have to practice. If you're an influencer, what are you good at? Are you funny on camera? Do you have a lot of wisdom? Are you good at explaining things, doing tutorials? Are you good at giving life experiences and an opinion? You have to find out what you're good at before you get on camera. Practice that multiple times until you feel comfortable with exuding that in front of an audience. Okay. And that way, everything will come across much more polished, much more experienced, much more laid back, comfortable, and that will come across to your audience. And your audience will begin to love you and they will be hooked in. All right. It's called the buy-in. And in the old school, we used to call it the buy-in. So create valuable content that your audience is going to want to come back to. What can they gain from you? Everyone wants to gain something. Are they gaining a good time, knowledge, opinion? So now, partnering with brands. So once again, I think I covered this a little bit in the beginning. You can, and there's websites we'll go over in the second part to this video that will be released later. By the way, if you like this kind of video right now and you want part 2, please click that like button, smash that like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel because I'm going to give you a lot of things to help you out in business. The rest is up to you. But I said before, I believe that if you have a growing audience and you have a business email, especially on YouTube, businesses will come to you in droves at certain times. It may seem at first that nothing's happening. Then all of a sudden an explosion occurs. At least this is how it happened for me. Tons of businesses are going to come to you and contact you. And then it's up to you to sift through which ones are legit, which ones are not, which ones are good for you, which ones are not, if you choose to partner with any of those brands for promotion. Now, later on in the second part of this video, we'll go over websites that you literally go to and they allow you to apply for brand deals. That's a little bit different. OK, but we will cover that another time. So now leveraging social media if you want to be a promoter, influencer. TikTok is one of the biggest promoter / influencer apps on the planet right now. So I think that would be wise to have a presence on there. And it's very easy to grow on there as well. Even if you don't get followers, TikTok is not about followers anymore. It's about views. And even if you're releasing your first video, you stand to get at least maybe 100 to 200 views, possibly on some of those introductory videos. That's a good amount of eyes. And if you have a good personality, if you have something good to say, something that the people enjoy hearing you say, they will come back again. They will send it to their friends. And now your audience is growing. So leverage social media. Twitter is another one. Twitter is great for drawing a lot of eyes. People will follow very easily on Twitter, it seems. But also you have to have a thick skin on some of these social media. Know that people may give you a hard time. There are going to be people that disagree with you. So just be prepared for that. And, just if you can't ignore it and continue to trudge forward, that's just part of life, part of the world. So be willing to walk through the fire in order to get to making your business as successful as it can. Remember, your business making tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of dollars is completely up to you and your effort, and you're going to need laser focus to accomplish it. You can let nothing shake you off that path. You must go after it like your life depends on it. All right. So now you have TikTok. I've spoken about Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. You have a lot of different choices depending on the audience you want to reach and also depending on the technology that you employ, because some people are manual. Like I myself, I'm manual. If I post something on YouTube, I'm just doing it through my computer or phone or something like that, tablet. Some people use apps that post to everything all at once. That's a little bit of a higher technological level. I personally don't do that. I'm only on YouTube right now. But you have to decide how you want to leverage social media, but you have many different options to do so. That's my point. Now, also, we already covered being transparent and authentic. I don't have to speak on that any further. So now on to another possible pathway of going into business for yourself. You can do it from the comfort of your home, is obviously work for hire. Now, a lot of people think work for hire and they think you got to get in your car and drive somewhere, but that's not true. I'll give you a few examples. On the top of my list is writing and editing. People allow you to do that. They can hire you for writing and editing services right from online. Now you can have your own website and then they can hire you from there. You can have your own blog. They can hire you from there, or you can go through one of those websites for work for hire. I forgot, I think Fiverr is one of them, and they can hire you from there. Now you would be surprised how many people need help writing and editing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. Can't AI just do that? No. A lot of people don't want to go through AI. AI is not perfect just yet. It's not perfect just yet. And especially for people who are in business or in college, AI is a no-no because it just lacks emotion. It lacks depth at times. It just doesn't have that human feel. It doesn't. And then also, if people are using AI, there are AI busters that a lot of the businesses and a lot of the colleges are now using. So you don't want to get caught using AI. So a lot of people, for a variety of reasons, still prefer humans, people, to do their writing and editing. And it is a big business. I remember when I was in college, I didn't do it for money, but I remember when I was in college, a lot of people would come to me and ask me to help them write and help them edit certain papers and things of that nature. So I know that that audience is definitely there. So that's just an example. You don't have to do that. It's just an example. So then also marketing and social media. I know how difficult it is to have to market things, have to have a presence on social media when you're trying to do a lot of other things in life. It is difficult. But as a business or as sometimes just people, you still want to have that presence on social media. So you hire someone else to do it for you. A lot of the posts that people see on Twitter are not made by the company, are not made by those people. They've hired others to write and post for them, making their life so much easier. A lot of YouTube videos. Yeah, sure. The people are in the videos, but they don't do the editing. They don't do the posting. They don't do the metadata. They don't do any of that. They are hiring somebody to do that. And you can be that person. So you can, once again, you can make postings on your website, your blog, or some job site, some work for hire job site for people to be able to hire you for that service. These are some very popular work for hire possibilities here. So then you have, of course, if you have a little bit more skills or you're willing to learn, I'm sure there's a lot of like free information on how to learn graphic design and web design on YouTube. There's a lot of probably free courses maybe on the internet that you can look up. I'm sure like companies like Google provide a lot of free services for certain things. I'm not sure of this in particular, but if you have graphic design and web design skills, you can also do that. You can go into business for yourself and you can post and you can see if people will hire you for that. Virtual assistant, same thing. And data entry, same thing. All right. Just giving you a few options. You want to sell items. The first thing that I would do if I were you is go on the internet and do a search on what the top items selling are. What are the top types of items that are selling, just in case you don't want to sell some of those top items, of course, right? And so I have a little bit of a list here. It says top 5 items to sell right now. Home and kitchen items, you know, they are all the rage. Home and kitchen items. Then it's up to you to decide when you find that information out, what type of home and kitchen item you might want to sell, and just do a quick search and peruse, and maybe you find something interesting there. Electronics, you know, electronics are pretty popular. Toys and games. Of course, a lot of this is going to depend on your budget as well, right? So here we're getting to a level now where it's going to cost you a little bit of something unless you have a print on demand service. Now we're going to get to that because print on demand services, at least from what I know from the past, they only take a percentage from what you sell. So you don't actually have to buy the items. You see that? You see? So we're still starting from zero, but we're giving ourselves a chance. Now, I know you're wondering, you're saying, hey, Mick, wait, what are these websites we can go to where we can print something on demand, sell it? It's not coming out of our pocket. And the companies that print the stuff and design it for us, or rather print our designs on the stuff, take just a percentage from our sales. We'll get to that a little bit later. Don't worry. I'm going to give you everything I can. Once again, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. There's more coming. So we have home and kitchen items. We have electronics. We have toys and games. We have pet supplies. You know, that's big. Pets. People love their pets. A little jacket for a dog, little mittens for their paws, even shoes for their paws. I've seen that as well. A little hat for a dog can go a long way. Can you imagine how much capital could be made with some of those items customized by you with your unique vision? You would be surprised. You would be surprised. And yet and still, I say that, and some people are still not going to try, but that's up to them. This is not financial advice, once again. Then also you have, of course, beauty and personal care. There's a lot of print on demand for that as well. But if you have a little bit of a budget and you're not trying to start from zero, you could go just to, wholesalers, of course. But that's a completely different path we'll talk about another time. So with all of that being said, once again, I want to iterate. if you have any of these products that you're going to sell, even if they're print on demand, get a sample. Get a sample. Get a sample of that shirt you're going to sell. Get a sample of those pants. You make sure that the print looks good. It's a good quality product. What we don't want bad reviews. We don't want people turning away. We need them to buy. So you want to get a sample, try it out, wear it for a little bit. Does it feel good? Does it feel smooth? What does it feel like? Is it too big, too small? Is the print not so good? Or is it great? See, now you know. So if you have to make adjustments, you can before it's too late. So always test out the product first. Make sure it's back around to books one more time so I can give you a little bit more information. Now, if you're going to put out a book, you have to know what are the top genres that are selling. Now, let's say the book is not just a passion project. You want to make some major capital. You're going to have to write a book in one of these genres that actually is going to sell, that's hot right now. So what genres are hot right now when it comes to books? I'm going to give them to you. Top 5 genres right now in the book industry. Romance is huge. Romance is huge. You have a romance book up here. It doesn't take a lot to write a little 7,500 page book and have it go viral. If you wrote it well enough, go viral. And now you're making some capital. And Amazon has, I can't remember what it's called. They have like a little books section, a little quick book section that people can post on. And there's only little digital books there for people to read. And it's a very, very interesting opportunity to make some capital when you don't want to write a very long book. We'll get to different types of books a little bit later. Don't worry about that. So romance, mystery/thriller is number 2. Fantasy is number 3. Science fiction is number 4. And then, of course, nonfiction at number 5, which encompasses a lot of different things. But you have 5 genres right there. Those top 3 right there are your money makers. Romance, mystery, thriller, and fantasy. Boom. Now you're cooked. Now you're ready. You're armed with a little bit of information. You're ready to start cook up that book, get that published for free. And now it's just sitting there. There's no negative to it whatsoever that I have seen. Once again, it's not advice once again, but I haven't seen any negative. I've been putting out books for probably, I'm going to say over 17 years. Once again, you don't have to use your name. You write that hot and steamy romance book. You don't need to put your name on it so your family finds, maybe don't want your family to know. Make up a pseudonym, another name for yourself, and you can go by that, right? That's the beauty of writing books. So you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, Mick, I don't have time to write a novel. And that's where I say you don't need to write a novel in these modern times. You don't need to write a long book to make a good amount of capital in these new modern digital times. I know new modern, I don't have to say both, but it felt right. Here we go. I'm going to give you some possible pathways to write short stories or short books as well and make some capital. So you have flash fiction. Flash fiction is only 100 to 1,000 words. Now, when you get that small, I'm just going to take Amazon, for example. When you get that small, you want to release digital literature that small, they start paying you by the length. I think at one time you had to have a certain amount of words. Maybe it's over 500 words to start getting paid. So just keep that in mind and verify that on Amazon. They have a special, once again, they have a special micro literature section on Amazon for people to sell on. And there's a huge audience there that likes to read little quick reads. Remember, we're in the TikTok era where people like short videos, short everything. They want their microwave moving fast. They want their air fryer moving fast, and they want their story short and fast and impactful. There's money to be made there. So flash fiction, 100 to 1,000 words. Then you have short stories, of course, 1,500 to 5,000 words. Those are really big too. Short stories, don't sleep on them, can make some good capital. Then you have a novelette. Have you ever heard of a novelette? A novelette is 7,500 words to 20,000 words. 7,500 words is not bad. You could type that in a few hours' time. No big deal. So now you're getting respectable. That's a respectable length for a book. I'm telling you. Examples of novelettes are The Fall of the House of Usher from Edgar Allan Poe, who I grew up when I was little. My grandmother bought me an Edgar Allan Poe book. I loved Edgar Allan Poe ever since. I read The Raven so many times. So also the quote, The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant. So there are a lot of big heavy hitters who have written novelettes. So now we get to where usually I will release books, and this is a novella. Novellas are 10,000 words to 50,000 words. It's a good way to make a series of books without going too long. Each book, 10,000 words. Now you're cooking, you're putting something together. So novella, once again, 10,000 words to 50,000. You see how the opportunities are there? They're just sitting there. Cost people no money to release these books. None, zero, but they can make money. Of course, like I said, the companies will charge you just a little bit. It's nothing. In my humble opinion, it's nothing, but you make up your own mind about that once you see whatever they're going to be taking out of when the book sells, right? So notable novellas that have been written: Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, Of Mice and Men, which they made everybody in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s read. Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. That was a good book, by the way. Very sad. And The Lottery by Shirley Jackson also qualifies as a novella. Then, of course, you have the novels, which everybody is used to. Novels are 50,000 words to 110,000 words. Yes, writing a novel can still be profitable. There's no guarantee it still can be profitable in this if you write a good one. But a lot of people just don't have the time. Unless it's a passion project, they just don't have the time. Let's say you're just a moneymaker. And you say, I'm slightly interested in making books, but I really want to make a lot of money. I need that money. Then you want to go for something a little bit shorter, possibly. You could do on a weekly basis, like flash fiction short stories. You could do on a weekly basis. And they have, there's a term for it. I can't remember, on Amazon. You just keep putting them out every single week, and you're building your audience. And if you get enough reads, you have to have a certain amount of views. It's like views. They will pay you for it. So that's a pretty good opportunity. Earlier, I was talking about print on demand. That is huge. All right. And it makes it very easy for people to go into business for themselves. So I'm going to give you a top 5 list here. And of course, it's just opinion based, but a top 5 list here of the most popular, or some people would say the best print on demand companies. And I have some experience with some of them. Now, Printful, you have number 1 is Printful. They're known for white labeling. Printful offers a wide range of customizable products, including apparel and home decor. Their quality and customization options make them a top choice for entrepreneurs. Then number 2, Printify, which I have experience with. It was very easy using Printify. Printify, if you're looking for fast shipping, Printify is a great option. They have an extensive catalog of custom products and a global network of printing partners. Now, you can go to all of these websites. Remember, check them out, peruse. You don't have to commit to anything. It's just knowledge. Knowledge is power. And you see what works for you, if anything works for you. Gelato, which I have experience with also another good company. In my humble opinion, at least years ago, it was another good company. Gelato, with a focus on global reach. Gelato provides print-on-demand services worldwide. Their platform allows you to create and sell customized products across different regions. Number 4, Redbubble. Redbubble stands out as an artist-driven community. It's a marketplace where artists can showcase their designs on various products, from apparel to stickers and more. 5, of course, Society6. Society6 offers a unique selection of products. Artists and creators can upload their designs, which are then available for purchase on items like wall art, home decor, and accessories. So there's a lot more than this. I'm just giving you a few just for examples. I would definitely recommend checking out Printify and Gelato. And remember, these websites for print on demand have certain integrations also that are possible. So let's say, for example, you use Printify, I believe. I'm not sure, maybe Gelato also. But I think those two you can integrate with your Etsy. Let's say if you're selling through Etsy as an example, you can integrate that. So anything that you have on Printify or Gelato, then automatically, or you could do it manually as well if you want, you can have it transfer over to your Etsy store so easily. So now everything's almost being automated, folks. Now we're getting a little bit into automation. Oh man, don't make me get too excited, too happy, because we made it far into this. Let's say that you want to become an LLC, But you see how complicated it is to go through the state and all this different paperwork. And it can be that for some people. Although I do know some people personally who have gotten their LLCs by just doing it themselves manually. But let's say you don't want to do that. You want someone else to do it for you, a company, a legit company to do it for you. Here's a few companies that, people say are the best of the best. I'll give you one that I actually have experience with, and they did a very, very good job in my humble opinion. So let's just start off the list here with Northwest Registered Agent. And a lot of people say that they have good affordability and good customer service. So just make sure, like I said, check all of these sites out, read reviews for them, vet them first. And so you know if they're legit or not, if they're really good or not, or if they're for you or not. Then you have number 2, Zen Business. They say Zen Business is best for new businesses with a user-friendly interface and helpful customer service support, which is very important. Number 3, Ink File. It says best value for basic LLC formation with a free year of registered agent service. I think LegalZoom also had that at one time. But once again, folks, that was years ago. So I don't know what they have right now. Next, Rocket Lawyer. It says a lot of people say that they are good for businesses that need ongoing legal services in addition to LLC formation. And then last, but certainly not least, LegalZoom. Now, LegalZoom, I've had a lot of good experiences with LegalZoom. I just have. So, I'm just putting it out there. I have no problems at all. But LegalZoom is great for LLCs. They made it very, very easy long ago. I don't know how they are now. People change, times change, things change. So make sure you check them out and look them over and decide for yourself if they're best for you or not, right? You don't have to use them. But they made it very, very simple, very, very easy. And here's just a little tidbit from the internet. It says best for a wide variety of business formation and legal services. These are just a few of the great many LLC formation services available. Yeah, they got a lot. They have a lot. The best one for you will depend on your individual needs and budget. Of course. Yeah. So that's another thing. Just check out the pricing. Some of these things can be pricier than others. So that's another thing. But also keep in mind, sometimes when you get something too cheap, it's not good quality. And sometimes it's not safe. So there's sort of a middle ground I think people want to reach where it's not too expensive, but it's not so cheap where there's bad service. Now let's go over a list of websites that are pretty good to sell things on. So you have a myriad, a cadre of options where you could possibly sell something. If you're not just selling yourself, if you're not starting a YouTube channel, TikTok, where you're just being a personality, a promoter, influencer, and you have a product to sell, these are websites you can do it on. Some of them and maybe some of them are new to you. So you have, of course, eBay at number 1, Facebook Marketplace, number 2, Etsy, number 3, number 4, Poshmark, number 5, Ruby Lane. Number 6, of course, Amazon. And I'm going to say this about Amazon. Amazon does a good job. They do. They make everything very easy. In my humble opinion, they make everything easy, and they're just the most legit and easiest to use that I've ever experienced. So Amazon. Then you also have Mercari, also another good one. Another good one I have experience with, Mercari. You have Depop. At least in the past, it was good. Depop. You have Grailed. Right? If you're into sneakers, sweaters, and high-end fashion, you have Grailed. You have OfferUp. OfferUp is a local marketplace where you can sell items to nearby buyers, right? So that's 10 different platforms that you could possibly use to sell things on. So there's a lot of options. There is a lot of opportunities out there. I'm just trying to give you an idea in this introductory video. Okay. Like I said, if people click the like button enough on this and they enjoy this, building small businesses, building ideas about small businesses and making money, going into business for yourself, then we will do much more. There's so much more. You want to buy a whole bunch of items, right? You have that. You already know what you want to do, what you want to buy, and you need a whole lot of them for a reasonable price. And then you're going to, let's say, sell them through Amazon or eBay or something like that. You need a wholesaler to buy from. So I'm going to give you a few wholesalers that you can check out. Some of them you might know, some of them might be new. I don't know. It says here. So number 1, obviously, is Alibaba. You can go check them out. They have a lot of different stuff there. The quality, You got to make sure of the quality. I'll say that. Make sure of the quality. I'm just giving you a few off the top of my head, right? Quality can be questionable. Number 2, Tundra. This is, although relatively new to the market, founded in 2017, Tundra has already made an impact. It provides free shipping for many products and doesn't charge commission fees to sellers. Tundra focuses on affordable supplier options for buyers in the US and Canada. Then you have Fair, right? It says initially known as Indigo Fair. Fair is also emerged in 2017. It stocks a variety of products and offers personalized product recommendations. While it's not as large as Alibaba, Fair is gaining popularity among buyers. Number 4, Wholesale Central. It says if you're looking for niche or closeout products, Wholesale Central is a great source. If it helps you find specialized items and unique offerings from various suppliers. Okay, so then we are going to end off here with Handshake. Handshake, especially useful for Shopify stores. A lot of people are using Shopify these days. Handshake connects you with wholesale suppliers. It's a platform where you can discover a wide range of products, including handmade and vintage items. All right, so I think we've covered a great deal of information today about starting a small business and, just coming up with ideas. What are you selling? Where can you sell? Where can you sell your items, your books? What's important about hooking an audience, things of that nature. I think we covered a good deal. I think you all have the propensity to be great business people. If you're not already, you probably are already. And we'll get to that point as well, where you're already an established business. And, maybe we can provide some tools or some ideas for some tools to look at to help you do even better in business. We're going to be building a lot over here. I want to help people build. It's just fun for me. It's fun. It's interesting. And as you get older, you have a lot of this knowledge just sitting around in your mind. It's like, why not share it? Why not? So now, I hope you all have a great day. I hope you're all going to be very successful in life. Keep your confidence, keep your chin up, keep doing well, do great. Put together your ideas. Don't let ideas stagnate here. Hey, I can't tell you what to do, but don't let your ideas stagnate here. You have a lot of potential. You can do and be anything you want. And now, in this day and age, things are very easy. It's very easy to sell. It's very easy to start up your own store. While you're doing everything else in life, you can have your store almost fully automated. Everything's flowing. Like I said, we just touched on that integration aspect where you put something through to the print on demand service. It goes straight to your Etsy store. Now the Etsy store is selling it. You can almost fully automate things now. I think you can fully automate them, but I haven't gotten that far to full automation. I use partial automation because I like to have a little bit control. I'm like that. I like to have my hands still in it a little bit to make sure everything's going right. I just don't trust everything to have full automation. You understand? So now that you have that information, everyone, what are you going to do about it? I know what I'm going to do about it. So until next time, let's get to the money.